Hello and thank you for joining us on another time of live transmission of plenary from the National Assembly, precisely on the floors of the Green Chambers, that is the House of Representatives. Already the House is in session with the Speaker Yakubu Dogara presiding. At the onset of plenary, the Speaker announced a communication from President Muhammadu Buhari informing members of the decision of government to amend 2011. Now, with the transmission, expectedly, members are going to work on the new minimum wage. That aside, in our reports, yesterday, as we told you, the House of Representatives commenced debate on the 2019 appropriation bill of more than 8.8 trillion naira. Other businesses of the day that are likely to come up during plenary, from what I see on the other paper, quotas for elections and area councils of the FCT at plenary, and we're now going to that are being handled. Thank you.
And like my elder brother said, purely a government bill and executive bill. There are wordings, there are everything. So, Mr. Speaker, I think we have to say this, and we have to let the Nigerian public know that we know our job.
Chair Foreign Relations Committee.
The Deputy Speaker has just said, Mr. Speaker, this is a demarcation bill. It was forwarded to us.
Honorable colleagues, we'll take the first reading of the bill. First business of the day is presentation of one bill. I now invite the clerk to read the short title of the bill.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, National Minimum Wage Bill 2019, first reading.
So, yes, corrected. So we'll take the second reading of the minimum wage bill later. The second business of the day is presentation of two reports of the Committee on Treaties, Payments, standing in the name of the reports. Hope these reports are in consonance with what was transmitted.
Yes.
So
exactly.
that we avoid
what
the scenario in which we are right now.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Once again, my name is Yakubu Abiodun Balogun, representing the very industrious people of Lagos Island Federal Constituency. I am Lagos State. I matters HB 65, and I also want to crave the indulgence of the agreement on a bill for an act to provide for the enforcement and punishment of crimes against humanity, war crimes, genocide, and related offenses, and to give effect to certain provisions of the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court in Nigeria for related matters, HB 594. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Any second?
For Equity West and
Sadiq Ibrahim. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 18 December 2018. I now invite Honorable Sadiq Ibrahim, who is now the spokesperson for the Nigerian woman, to move that the bill be the second.
Mr. Speaker, sir, my respected honorable colleagues, my name is Sadiq Ibrahim. I represent Song Federal Constituency as the brand new spokesman for Nigerian women. House Committee for the simple. Mr. Speaker, before then, in a support bill 2018 be read for the second time. I move, Mr. Speaker.
Elendu KJ, member representing Bende Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm from Abia State. It is my pride, my pleasure to be called upon to session that's moved by Honorable Sadiq. I so second.
Honorable Sadiq, thou shalt not be intimidated.
Senate and in the House of Reps and House of Assembly and FCT councillors. Adamawa, for instance, has 3 senators like any other state. 3 senators. In my proposal, Mr. Speaker, we shall start with the senatorial district that has the largest population in that state. In Adamawa, where I come from, Adamawa Central has the largest population. Therefore, we will make this law to ensure that INEC directs all political parties to, in a particular year, ask them to only Adamawa Central, all political parties must field women. All political parties must field women as their candidates for that year. The other 2 senatorial districts can field men. Therefore, if we say it is turn by turn, it's like a bus coming to Ojo Legba to carry 10 people, and there are a queue of men and women, and the last woman entered the bus, and the bus driver tells them, bus number 52 is coming. You man stand. So point that of order, next time, order. I'm coming. Mr. Speaker, point of order. Turn by turn is not discriminatory.
Honorable Soba, what is your point of order? Sorry, yes. Honorable. But you should have allowed him to finish. This is a debate.
But Mr. Speaker,
I don't know why you are raising point of order.
Okay,
but
if
let's
you say I should allow him. Because there is no point we wasting our time here only for Sadiq now to come and jettison the constitution. What I'm saying is simple. Sadiq is telling us that turn by turn is not unconstitutional, rotational is not.
But that would be your contribution to the debate. It's not a point of order.
It's a point of order. I'm relying on
the
section 42. On the section 42.
You are speaking against the bill.
Not against the
so
bill. Section 42
seat.
already has stopped him from even arguing over this thing. It has stopped him automatically.
Allow him to finish the debate, okay, then you can make your points.
I will come back.
Honorable Sadiq, can you take out your mic, please? Take out your mic.
Speaker, Mr. Speaker, they will have this law during which women in Nigeria have a voice to continue in the states, South Africa. There is no way this country can remain without giving women the opportunity to contest election. Because, Mr. Speaker, election is about opportunity we do not have. And we cannot continue to stop women from participating. There are only 21 women. How can we make more women come so that we can develop our country? The only way to make women come
is governmental indices of any part of the world, and they are hugely populated by women. So it is a safe assumption that if the countries that are populated in governance by women do well, and the countries that are populated by men in governance are faltering, then maybe we should have a bit more women in governance to stabilize the government. Mr. Speaker, everybody hides behind Section 42 of the Constitution, and they say it is discriminatory. But, Mr. Speaker, we all know that the provisions of the Constitution are self-evident, but they are not self-enacting. By so, what do I mean? That there is no discrimination, yet this House is living with disability. Yet this same Constitution has passed the Child Rights Act. So what does that mean? That all these pieces of legislation help the Constitution to achieve that which the Constitution intends, which is no discrimination against any type of people. Mr. Speaker, I am very concerned that we do not want women in parliament. As Honorable Sadiq pointed out, code, most of the laws are made. The Nigerian woman, part of this democracy, whose voice not legitimately say that we have a democracy. I ran in an election. You've used me as an example. And Mr. Speaker, people recognize that of my chromosomes don't see where's a woman's face. Is that our democracy is gotten so expensive. In the last round of election, a very strong woman I'm a victim of electoral fact that they cannot afford it. And all they're saying...
Sadiq will prove me right here. And I want to mention a specific name. I remember the day the Senate leader was saying it. He was saying it with all utmost sense of responsibility that it's not against giving 35% to women. But he's so sure that in Yobe State, at that point, you cannot have that 35% when government is about to be formed. And at that point, you are going to put whoever that is the governor or the local government chairman under pressure because it now becomes a constitutional matter. If it is constitutional that you must give 35% to women and you are about forming a government where you are not likely to get the number of women to come 35%, then it becomes a problem. So what are we saying, Mr. Speaker? What is supportable in the case of women? I respect women, not only respect, I adore them because God gave women some natural roles that cannot be played by men. One is they attend to their children. Two, I always refer to, I remember when I was entering the university in 1981, age mate. As at that time, naira per bed space, 50 naira is for your breakfast. The costliest bunta I adore them. Give them quotas. That's going to have serve their responsibility. So what I'm saying, from the title of the bill, Sadiq, as brilliant as he is, as a lawyer and a legislator,
A fundamental one. Will this bill amount to a negative discrimination or a positive one? I answer in the affirmative that it will be a very positive one. If you must use the word discrimination, we must not run away from the fact that our practices, our culture, our behavioral pattern, our stigmatization constitute the worst discrimination against the women folk in Nigeria. And it behoves us as legislators here to do something that will reduce that tendency towards unnecessary stigmatization of women who want to contribute their quota to nation building. Mr. Speaker, there is no man here who will argue in the negative when I say that you are able to be here because a woman has stabilized you at home. An unsettled home today will, and will not be articulated at all. To the kitchen and to the other rooms, and this bill is calling for an opportunity for the women. And
I'm from this. Mr. Speaker, for 4 main reasons, I'm a lover by men. She's an engineer. Discrimination. Mr. Speaker,
and then marks that belong to men. Mr. Speaker, today when you go to each and every school, I challenge everybody. When you go into any classroom, count the number of people there, you will see that the female folks are greater in number than the male folks. So, Mr. Speaker, this thing about women is growing by the day. Some it was cultural, and now the culture has begun to pass away. And then the women are a past, they don't. We see a lot of profession that you never imagine that you'll find a woman in the last 30 years or 40 years, you'll find women. So if we allow this bill to come to play, Mr. Speaker, they will make the women lazy.
Point of order,
I have 7 children, Mr. Speaker. I have 7 children.
Who is talking about point of order?
6 out of them.
Okay, Honorable Karimi has a point of order.
if you want, this time is for I will speak for, not those that are speaking against.
No. So take your seat. Chin, Speaker, please round up quickly.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have 7 children. 6 are female. And that is why I tell you, Mr. Speaker, I am a proposer. They cannot go, but all do is to work hard. And second, Speaker, because I am championing the cause of women, that is why I have 2 wives.
My honorable colleagues, refer very quickly to PG Goal 5. I round up my debate and my provision. Goal 5 says achieve gender equality.
Second, the motion women are in the majority of the commencement of the debates on the amendment of the National Minimum Wage Act.
I so second, Mr. Speaker. So, leader, you can now lead the debate.
Not to do I think the motion first, sir, for the leading. You have the motion? Speaker, respected colleagues, this is a very straightforward bill. It is a bill that is trying to address the issues of the Nigerian